Hello, my name is Bamini Singh, and today my group will be presenting on the topic Net Zero Building Technologies and Sustainable Urban Development. Our presentation covers the problem statement, an introduction and background, the main topics, a discussion, and finally a conclusion. Problem statement. One of the biggest challenges we face is ensuring cities can accommodate the increasing population without compromising sustainability. Therefore, our problem is how might we integrate smart windows and net zero heating technologies into net zero energy buildings to mitigate the impacts of urbanization while addressing technological, financial, and legislative barriers. Addressing this issue requires innovative urban planning. In the next slides, we'll explore how we can develop solutions to address this challenge. I'll now hand you over to Emmanuel to discuss the introduction and background.
Hello, my name is Emmanuel Yolea, and I'll be presenting the introduction and background. The main objective of this report is to analyze how net zero energy buildings can combat the consequences of urbanization. This report proposes two solutions: smart windows and net zero heating, which can reduce energy consumption within net zero energy buildings. Additionally, the barriers opposing these technologies are identified and discussed. The scope of this presentation includes adapting smart windows and net zero heating technologies within net zero energy buildings. Will reduce energy consumption, barriers, and case studies of the successful application of these solutions and the link between these technologies and civil engineers. I will now be passing this on to Razia, who will be presenting the main topic.
Discuss the main topics. Smart windows. A house is using a lot of energy, which includes heating, cooling, and ventilation, which accounts for 50% of the energy used in a house. Now, we want to reduce that amount of energy, and how can we do that? We can implement smart windows, and essentially what a smart window is that it regulates heat and light to cut off energy that's used in the building. A type of smart window we can implement is electrochromic smart windows. It changes transparency, but the problem is that we need some type of external power. What are some plausible solutions for that external power? We can use photovoltaic panels and use solar energy. Now, this is one of the sustainable ways to use energy, and we are able to use it day and night. It reduces the energy consumption by 50 to 75%, and it is very cost beneficial as it can save up to $476.6 million by 2030. Next is heating. Heating is relying on fossil fuels, which accounts for 90% of all homes, which increases carbon dioxide emissions, which leads to climate change. What's a sustainable way to use heating? We can implement industrial heat pumps or IHPs. And essentially, how it works is that we have an evaporator, which will take the heat from the air and reduce the pressure. Then we go into the compressor where we will increase the pressure again and increase the temperature. And then finally,
We will be focusing on three barriers against NZEB: technical barriers, economic and financial barriers, and legislative barriers. The technical barriers of NCEBs include limited global adoption of net zero technologies, challenges in technological development, and lack of knowledge on current material and systems. The economic and financial barriers include high cost of sustainable infrastructure, expensive new technologies, for example, smart windows and net zero heating systems, and apartment owners lack funds for upgrades. The legislative barriers include unclear or non-existent NZEB regulations, uncertainty in renewable energy integration standards, and last but not least, building codes require on-site renewable energy but lack implementation guidelines.
So after looking at the major barriers, it might seem like net zero energy buildings are really difficult to achieve, but the truth is they are already being implemented successfully. One example is Bullitt Center in Seattle. This building produces as much energy as it consumes each year by using smart and efficient systems. For heating, it uses a heat pump that circulates hot water through concrete floors, which store and release heat effectively. For cooling, it uses the motorized windows that open automatically in summer for natural ventilation, which reduces the need for air conditioning. The Bullitt Center proves that with smart systems and the right technologies, net zero energy buildings are not only achievable, but already functioning successfully. And here, a few recommendations that can help make net zero energy buildings more common and accessible. First, governments should offer tax incentives and permit exemptions to ease financial and administrative challenges for sustainable construction. Second, providing low-interest construction loans can help companies manage the high initial cost of net zero energy buildings technologies. Third, increased investment in university-led research is essential, especially in renewable energy and smart systems. Lastly, education is important. Universities should expand programs in sustainable design and net zero energy buildings related regulations to train future professionals. These actions can help to overcome current barriers and support the broader adoption of net zero energy buildings. And now I pass it over to Humayun for the conclusion part.
All right, Humayun Miraj here. Let's wrap this presentation up now. In conclusion, adopting net zero energy buildings within cities is critical to achieving sustainable urban development, as we have discussed throughout this presentation. By implementing steps to tackle technological, financial, and legislative barriers, net zero energy buildings can be promoted globally and can successfully boost cities' resilience towards urbanization in the future. In addition to this, investing in smart windows and net zero heating will also significantly reduce carbon emissions within buildings even further. Lastly, more effort needs to be placed in developing policies to promote investment and enable widespread knowledge on net zero energy buildings to successfully adapt this technology into our world today. All right, thank you for listening, and here are references. Have a great day.